Welcome back to the Bettors Zone, Season 1, Episode 19. Wednesday morning edition. We have a 10-game slate today. There was no show tomorrow. Got a bit of time off. Probably no show tomorrow either. We have a 13-game slate on Friday, so I'll be prepping for that. We have 10 very strong games today. I have leans on 4-5 games. We will get right into it. I'm putting up the odds screen right now. In the meantime, please, if you can, like, subscribe, follow. It means a lot. If you think what I'm doing is helping your handicapping a bit, this is why I'm doing it. All right, we'll get into the games. No time for bullshitting. First game, Philadelphia 76ers are hosting the Boston Celtics. The game is off the board right now as we have a questionable tag for Kemba Walker. Kemba has been just returning from injury. He played one game, played 20 minutes, didn't look real good, had a rib issue. I do think he will play. He returned from the hit after the game, so I think this is just like a fake questionable thing. I think he will go. Tatum is out for Boston though. That is why the spread is Philly -5.5. I'm between if these were fully healthy teams, I would make this Philly -1.5. So basically, the bookmakers added 4 points because of Tatum missing the game. It might be a bit too much, to be honest. I mean, he is playing on an MVP level right now, and the team has been feeling him being out offensively. But I think this is probably where the line has to stop. If this gets to 6, I will probably bet the Celtics. So for Philly, finally everyone is back after the long streak of COVID issues and injuries, etc. Everyone is ready to go. I think they will need a few games to get the mojo back. I'm not sure I want to lay 5 to 6 points in the first game back. On the other side, the Celtics, I'm not hugely impressed. Their offense ranks 12th through the season, but through the last 2 weeks they are only ranking 23rd offensively, and they are scoring almost 6 points less per 100 possessions through the last 6-7 games. Defense has been improving. They are one of the top 5 defenses right now. Again, average schedule difficulty faced, so we can say that the defense is legit. But offensively, I do have issues. Overall, I'm still not sold, but this is a very well coached team. They have some depth. I think Tatum isn't necessarily setting them back by 4 points. What this line is implying. So yeah, slightly in towards towards the Celtics. Philly has great defensive stats. They are allowing the 7th lowest points per possession, 7th lowest effective field goal percentage, but they have faced the 4th easiest schedule of opposing offenses. So yeah, that throws a wrench into that. I'm not sure this is a really strong defense. I think Boston has a better defense, and through the season, Philly just has a +2 point differential on average, and they are -1 point something against the closing spreads on average. So they aren't a good team to back. They aren't profitable. I think the market is rating them well. Boston is 3-0 at ATS as a dog so far this season. I think 4-0 on the road. So yeah, obviously low sample size, but I mean, these teams are really close when it comes to overall talent level, and I think while Philly is getting everyone back, this will be the first game back for the team. Huge changes. I would lean towards the Celtics. If this touches 6, I think the Celtics have to be a play. Next game, Cleveland Cavaliers, Brooklyn Nets. This will be a quick one. The Nets are laying 9.5 almost 10 points. It's leaning towards 10. Bookmakers opened it Brooklyn -9. Yeah, that's not enough points. Sexton and Garland are still questionable for Cleveland. They are the top two scorers. They haven't been playing for more than 2 weeks now. I don't think they play, but even if they played, we don't know what to expect. They will probably play just 20 minutes back their first game. This is also against the Brooklyn, so they know that they will lose. I don't think they will push the guys here. I think they will sit it out. Spreads probably gets to 10, 11 maybe, if they are announced out. I mean, everyone is back for the Nets. Kyrie had the conditioning issues, but he is cleared to go. Brooklyn through the last 2 weeks has been the third best offense in the league, fourth best, sorry, and the 21st defense. That's what I'm expecting, to be honest. So they will be borderline bottom 10 defense and one of the best offenses in the league. The efficiency numbers they are putting up with Harden so far are really nice. I think it will stay that way. They will be one of the best offenses in the league. The problem is the defense isn't there. They don't have any depth. It shouldn't be an issue here. Cleveland sucks. Their defense, I've been always saying that the Cleveland defense has been pretty good so far through the year, but through the last 2 weeks they have also regressed a bit. I think this was expected. I never thought Cleveland will be one of the top defenses through the whole season. They are allowing 4 more points per 100 possessions so far through the last 2 weeks than they did before. I mean, they faced a difficult schedule of offenses, but still, I'm not really buying what they are selling, and they are really unbettable with the two best scorers on such a long layoff. They have scored less than 100 points 8 games in a row, and in the 9th game, Drummond scored 33 just to get them over 100 points. This is not a good team. This should be a blowout. So yeah, my line is Brooklyn -9.5. If everyone is in, I think this can get to 10.5, 11 if Sexton and Garland are out. But I obviously don't want to lay this many points with a team that has no defense against one of the stronger defenses. We will see. If Sexton and Garland are in, I think Cleveland could be keeping this close. I'm not that high on Brooklyn yet if they are facing decent defenses. Next game, this is another one where I have a strong lean. So the Pacers are hosting the Dallas Mavericks. Injuries on both sides. Dallas still won't have the guys back who are out with COVID. Those are Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, and Dwight Powell. So they will all be out here. Some news from the Dallas front. Tim Hardaway Jr. is expected to play. He played through a groin injury last time out. He scored 0. Wasn't really feeling it. They will have Jalen Brunson back, and Porzingis is up to around 30 minutes per game right now. So yeah, they're getting some pieces back. Some guys missing, but overall, I'm feeling pretty good about the current rotation that's available. I think Hardaway will probably shoot a bit better than he did the last time out. During this streak, when the guys with COVID were out, he's averaging like 25 points. He's the second lead scorer on the team. I think Brunson should also be in decent shape, and Porzingis is slowly getting his touch back. I think I didn't expect him to log 30 minutes, and he did log more than 30 in 2 games in a row. So good signs. On the other side, Miles Turner is questionable for the Pacers. I really don't think he will play. He has fractured his hand, and they are avoiding surgery. I don't think they will risk him re-injuring it. Obviously, for the Pacers, TJ Warren still out. Oladipo has been traded. Levitt, who was the return in the trade, cannot play, and he will not be playing for a while. So if Turner is out, the Pacers are down 3 starters basically, and I think this will be a bit too much. I mean, Turner is the third best player besides Brogdon and Sabonis on the team. And yeah, they haven't been that good through the last 2 weeks. I said I like what the Pacers are doing, decent coaching. I'm being into the schemes. But through the last 2 weeks, they are ranked 15th offensively and 19th defensively. They have a negative point differential. They are neutral against the spread. And this came against the 28th most difficult schedule. So yeah, they've played an easy schedule and didn't look that good. Obviously, the trade and some injuries are hurting them. But I mean, yeah. So you are down three starters. You have basically two very good players remaining and some fillers. I'm still not writing this Spacers team down, but I think the Mavs are in better shape with Porzingis playing decent minutes. Obviously, Doncic, Brunson back, Tim Hardaway probably playing here. They have faced the fifth most difficult schedule in the league, and they are still within the top 10 when it comes to defense. They made huge improvements from last season. I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I think this is kind of a buy low. This is the second game of the road trip for Dallas. They got blown out in the first game, very ugly loss against Toronto. But Doncic had just 15 points there. Tim Hardaway had 0 points, who was averaging 25 before. I think Porzingis is kind of looking better. So all guys should get better and look better than they did in the last game. And you don't want to start your road trip down do nothing. And I think yeah, the Pacers. I mean, what I've seen recently and the injuries, I just cannot back them. This is a close game. My line is Dallas minus 1.5. So I make them road favorites. This is around the pick'em right now. I think there is still some value on Dallas. Obviously, if you can, you should wait for Miles Turner's status before the game. I think he will be out, and I think Dallas will flip to a road favorite before start. But yeah, overall, I'm liking the defense. I'm liking that they are sticking in difficult games, even when the shots aren't falling. And the last game I think was everything went bad, and this is a good spot to get a W. Next game, Atlanta Hawks, Detroit Pistons. Hawks are 5.5 point home favorites. This opened 6.5. My line here is 6. I think this has to stop at 5.5. I think there would be value on the Hawks if this gets to 5. I always talked about I've talked about the Hawks multiple times through the last 2 weeks. Their defense has been getting better, but the shots aren't falling. Everyone is shooting way below their career averages, especially Trey. Yeah, so with him not shooting well, this offense will suffer. They got the W the last time out. I think they played Minnesota. Uh, but yeah, this is a tougher test. The Minnesota line closed minus 7.5, and I think this being minus 5.5 is something I can accept. Detroit has been one of the better teams against the spread. They are averaging plus 5.8 points on average against the closing spreads, and they face the fourth most difficult schedule out of all teams. They've played Milwaukee 3 times. They played Utah. They played Miami twice, Boston twice. I think the market is kind of sleeping on them. They are a shitty team, but they play hard and the rebounding is strong. And they play some defense. So yeah, these two already played at the start of the season. The Hawks were playing a totally different basketball. Then the shots were falling, but they didn't play any defense. Now they are starting to play defense. I think they will be okay if the shots start to fall again. Yeah, so I think anything around between 5.5 and 6.5 is okay here. If this gets to 5, I'll probably be forced to take the Hawks. That's about it. All right, next game. This is another interesting one. Toronto Raptors hosting the Miami Heat. Miami still struggling with injuries. I think they have been the team that has been hit the most, the worst by COVID and injuries through the season. I mean, you can mostly throw out their stats through the window because there wasn't really any longer stretch when everyone was healthy and they could just build the chemistry. So they are struggling mightily. They won't have Butler, Bradley, and Leonard here. And Tyler Hero is questionable. He missed 2 games. We'll see if he comes back. I'm not sure. So yeah, the Raptors. I'm not saying they fixed it, but they are looking better than they did in the start of the season. They started the season like being 1-8 or 2-8, something like that. Through the last 2 weeks, they have a plus 4.9 point differential. They are plus 3.5 against the spread on average. They are scoring 7 more points per 100 possession than they did through the first 3 weeks of the season. So the offense has been getting better. They haven't faced the difficult schedules, so I'm not like immediately sold on them, but they did look good through the past few games. They are on a 5-game homestand right now, and they won the three first game, and this is the fourth game. So I think some momentum is building. I think they are kind of buying into that as well, and I'm not sure the market has adjusted a lot. I make this closer to Toronto -5, and we see a -4-ish. I would make this Toronto -3 with Butler in, based on what we've seen on from Miami so far, and I don't think Butler is worth just 1 point to the spread, and obviously a couple of bench guys are also out. So yeah, Miami. I mean, I said take this with a grain of salt. They have never been healthy, but they are through the whole season the 20th best offense and the 22nd best defense. They are like -6 point differential, -7 against the spread on average. It's just ugly. Through the last 2 weeks, when the Raptors are playing decent basketball, there is around a 12-point differential between these two teams per 100 possessions, which is insane. I also don't like that Miami still has the highest turnover rate of any offense. They just give the ball away like crazy. Toronto forces the fifth most turnovers in the league. Miami also allows a really high 3-point percentage. I think third, eighth highest percentage of free throws and third highest number of threes allowed. And Toronto is shooting the most threes out of all clubs right now. They have really started raining from downtown. So yeah, overall, I lean Toronto. I think the matchup is good. They are fully healthy at home on a win streak. They are staying home for a few days. Miami just cannot put it together. And I was expecting to get like a Toronto -6 or something like that as a line, so that we have to pay some extra to back the Raptors, but we don't. So yeah, I really like Toronto here. I think they will take care of the business here. Next game, I'll be quick on this. Minnesota Timberwolves, Orlando Magic. Magic are 4-point road favorites. I make this 2.5, but I cannot touch either side. Orlando without faults. Fournier, Bamba, Michael Carter Williams. Minnesota will be without Karl Anthony Towns, Hernan Gomez, Layman. So the forwards and big men are out. Both teams are at least -6 points in average against the spread. These are ranked bottom 5, both offensively and defensively, through the last 2 weeks. Nothing is working for either team. There is only one good feature with Orlando. They are still playing some defense. They are fourth in defensive rebounding, and the defense isn't that terrible, but it hasn't been great through the last 2 weeks. So yeah, I cannot lay 4 points on the road with the Magic. I cannot lay points with the Magic. But I think without Karl Anthony Towns, the Timberwolves are the worst team in the league. So yeah, that's about it. I show line value on the Timberwolves, but I'm not touching it. I think Vucevic will have a good game. This is a great stylistic matchup for him. So yeah, I can understand why the money is coming in on the Magic. But if this gets out to like 5, you would probably have to look at Minnesota. But I don't want to touch this game. All right, next game. Another interesting one. Houston Rockets hosting the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix is laying 5.5 points on the road. This is a hefty price to play. You will have to pay an extra when you want to back a team that is healthy. looking decent against a team that isn't healthy and has done nothing through the season. So for Houston, Wall and House will both be out. These are the two injuries left on the team. Obviously, Oladipo made his debut in the last game. Phoenix has been on a long COVID break for 6 days. They have been out. Through the season, they are the 9th best offense, 14th best defense, solid +4 point differential. They are almost +2 against the spread on average. They have played in every schedule. I think they are legit. They are a legit playoff team in the West. Top 10 offense, top 15 defense. I think that's enough to get you there. Houston on the other side, I rank them outside of my top 20 in all the stats you can ever search for. It's amazing how bad they have been. But obviously the trade, the COVID, the injuries, they are also one of the teams that have been struck really bad, like Miami. Some things to note: they are the last in defensive rebounding and the third worst in offensive rebounding. They are the fourth worst team in the league in turnover rate. Um, you won't find a numbers edge with a team like Phoenix that has been looking good. And yeah, so I make this Phoenix -5, line is 5.5. I couldn't look at the Houston Rockets here. I think the Suns cover this. Let's follow Houston. Let's see how Oladipo settles in. If the defense starts to get better, obviously they would need Wall back badly. The guard play isn't really high level at the moment, to say the least. So yeah, no edge on the Suns, but I cannot look at the Rockets right now. Next game, ugly road dog Memphis Grizzlies. We are going with them again. The Portland Blazers are somehow 1.5 point home favorites, and they won't have two of their three best players. So Nurkic is out and McCollum are both out. To say, I mean, that's we've seen how they look without them. They look terrible. I thought that this will happen. So this is a team. This is another like stars and scrubs lineup, like the Mavs. They don't have any depth. If the top three guys are not at 100%, this just won't work. And we've seen that. And to start with, I mean, Portland is the 27th best defense in the league, and they are 26 against the spread through the year. They have been just terrible, and now they won't have their best scorer, best 3-point shooter. I mean, McCollum has been putting up some crazy stats. I cannot back them probably until these two guys come back. Because we have a bad defense and the offense that is Lillard, and that's all. Memphis has been the fourth best defense through the whole year, and they have been the second best defense through the last 2 weeks. They are playing amazing. They have faced the third most difficult schedule. So, I mean, these great defensive stats came against a difficult schedule. Through the last 2 weeks, they have a +5 point differential, +4.5 against the spread on average. I mean, they beat Phoenix without Valanciunas. They got out rebounded, but it wasn't as bad as I expected, to be honest. And Portland isn't great at rebounding. With Nurkic out, he's averaging like 8 rebounds. So I think him being out will help Memphis to get away with not having Valanciunas. Memphis is shooting tons of short mid-range jumpers. If one team is doing way more than average of one of the type of the shots, I'm always looking into it. And so yeah, they do these mid-range jumpers a lot, and they shoot it almost more than anyone in the team. And Portland is allowing the fourth highest effective field goal percentage for mid-range jumpers. They are also as we know, Portland is shooting tons of threes. Obviously, their best shooter is out, but Memphis is a top 3-point defense when it comes to frequency and accuracy allowed also. So yeah, if these two were fully healthy, I would make this Portland -2, and we have a -1.5 with Portland with McCollum and Nurkic out, which would tell you that they only are worth like half point more than Valanciunas being out. I think that's the wrong number. Grizzlies have to be favored here. Way better defense, way better fundamental as they aren't missing such key pieces. They are the better team right now, and Portland doesn't have a defense. I mean, Lillard can always win any game. He's of the he's similar like Curry. He can score, drop a 60 bomb, and Memphis won't be able to score enough. But I mean, this sets up so well. I mean, it's. I think it's a mismatch, and I will be fading the Blazers if we don't have to lay big numbers against them. I mean, until Nurkic and McCollum are out. So yeah, I really like the Memphis on the money line. However you want it, they should be favorites here. JV out can be an issue, but I don't think it will be an issue here. And Kanter, who is backing up Nurkic, is is just so bad defensively. I think that's another point that the Grizzlies can exploit. All right, next game, LA Clippers hosting the Sacramento Kings. Line is Clippers minus 10.5. It's leaning towards 10, so we see some Kings money coming in. I'm not sure which side I really like here. uh, I was always bashing the Clippers. They are playing one of the worst defense in the whole league. Through the season, they are ranked 26th defensively. Obviously, they are ranked first offensively, not just through the season, but through the last 2 weeks also. Um, I think they are fixing the defense though, so that's a huge plus for me. Through the last 2 weeks, they are allowing less points, and through the last two games, they just allowed 96 and 100 points. I think the Clippers defense is getting a bit better, and slowly we will be able to lay like double digits with them. I'm not sure I'm able to do it here. This is a rematch. The same game happened 2 days ago. Clippers won by 38 in a game where they closed as 7-point favorites. So obviously we see some correction here. I think it's still an acceptable spread. The Kings rank 30th in offense, 30th in defense through the last 2 weeks, minus 12-point differential on average, minus 10 on average against the closing spread. Ugly stuff. But I think this is the bottom. So I think the Kings aren't such a bad team. This I don't think the market will rate them any lower than this. So from that standpoint and from that view, I think it's time to bet the Kings. I cannot do it as I said. I mean, the Clippers are really getting better defensively. Everything is pointing towards that, and they are the best offense in the league right now. Total opened up at 229.5. It's already up to 232.5. I think this will go over again. I don't think the Clippers will win by 38 here. I think this could be closer. The Kings have way too much talent, and the shots haven't been really falling for them. I think they will start to fall, and they will figure it out. I'm not saying they will be a good team, but I mean, this pricing is yeah. So I think the spread is correct, but if I would have to take a side, I'll probably look at the Kings. They just didn't have any success lately, and yeah, the Clippers are flying high and looking better than ever. I still will need to see them keep their opponents to under the 100 points for multiple times, and to see just them playing consistently tough defense until I can rank them as like a top 3 team. I expect them to end up there. I think they have the talent, they have everything to compete with the best teams in the league. This line is just giving them a bit too much credit, and you can see that the money is coming in on the Kings. That I don't mind it. Maybe at 9, I would probably look at the the Clippers. Sorry, 9.5. But if this ends up like closing around 11, I think there will be value on the Kings. So yeah, check this line. I think on whichever side of 10 this closes, there might be value on the other side probably. So yeah, I agree with the spread. Clippers are a team to start to take seriously. Last game, of the day. Golden State Warriors hosting the San Antonio Spurs. Line is Warriors minus 1.5, but this game just got pulled. This is off the board right now. As Wiggins is questionable for Golden State. That would be a tough blow if he's out. His efficiency has been getting better and better through the last 2 weeks. He's coming off his best game. If he's out, I think he's worth at least a point as a downgrade, maybe a bit more. But others have been stepping up for Golden State. So yeah, I would probably still look at Golden State even if he's out, and maybe this moves towards pick him a bit more. I really like the spot for the Warriors. This is only the second game in 6 days, and the Spurs are playing the fourth game in 6 days. And the biggest difference between these two squads is the recent schedule difficulty that they faced. The Spurs have faced one of the easiest schedule through the last 2 weeks. So they've played the Lakers, obviously difficult game, but then they played Minnesota twice, OKC and Houston twice through that trade period when they didn't have anyone, and they played Portland, who didn't have anyone either. So yeah, basically they had like 5 free win games in a row. It's not too difficult to look good against that. And they were like plus 3.7 on average against the spread, and they had a plus 6 point differential, which I don't think it's really impressive given the level of competition. And on the other side, the Golden State Warriors have played the Clippers twice, the Raptors, who are playing decent, the Pacers, and they played in Denver, and they played in LA against the Lakers again. So yeah, overall through the year, the Warriors are facing the second most difficult schedule so far, and the strongest schedule of opposing defenses. So tough stuff. Still, the Warriors were +2 against the spread on average through this streak. I think I'm selling the Spurs a bit right now. We have been riding them. They have been looking good. But I mean, I think this is a bit. I think there is a lack of respect here showing for Golden State. Looking at this spread, they have really played some great teams. They are coming off win against the Lakers. Obviously, they were trailing through the whole game, but they got the W in the end, and they have been playing a good games, strong games, good showings against top teams. While the Spurs have been just beating down shitty teams, and they haven't even beaten down on them that much. So yeah, I won't go into the stats here. I think this is a decent buy low spot on the Warriors. I will probably bet them on the money line. We will have to see if Wiggins plays or not, but I think if he's out, then this is a pick 'em, and then I would really like the Warriors. Otherwise, if he plays, this should probably go out to Golden State -2, 2.5. So that is it for today. I will sum it up as we have a couple of looks here. So Celtics getting 5.5 right now. If this gets to 6 or more, I think the Celtics are a decent look. I lean towards the Mavericks against the Pacers. Road favorites right now. The line already flipped, so the Mavs are road favorites officially. I think it's warranted. I make them 1.5 point road favorites. They have the key guys back. They are coming off their worst game. Everyone is coming off their worst game on the Mavs team. And the Pacers, I think they won't have Turner here. They don't have Warren. Oladipo traded. I think we will see some regression from them. Hawks Pistons is a spread to follow. If this gets down to Hawks -5, I think that's a bet. Although I don't like to bet against the Pistons. They are tough. I like the Raptors. I think this anything under 5 would be a bet for me. I think Jimmy Butler out is a huge issue. That everyone has issues in the team. They aren't fully healthy. They still have the COVID thing. Raptors long home streak. They did look good. I think they will grab the W and improve their record. Phoenix Suns, no value, but if you need a parlay piece, like a good money line parlay piece, I think don't play parlays, but they are a good parlay piece. I like the Memphis Grizzlies. They should be favored. I think this line is totally off. I don't really understand how one could put up this line, to be honest. And yeah, Clippers, Kings, I could make a case for both sides, who probably smarter to just stay away. Warriors, Wiggins is questionable. If he is in, the -1.5 is a good bet. I think if he's out, you can probably get cheap money line. They have looked good against good teams. I'm not saying I'm buying in, but the Spurs are painfully average, and they have just improved their stats against mostly shitty teams recently. So yeah, I would probably lean Golden State. We only have 3 games tomorrow. Probably won't be streaming as we have 13 games late on Friday. So that's what I'll be preparing for. So long show on Friday, most likely. We have some amazing games again. The Spurs hosting the Mavericks. That's always a good one. We have another Heat Raptors game. Celtics rematching with the Sixers. So yeah, a strong slate. Suns Nuggets. I mean, that will be an awesome game. So yeah, good luck today. I'll see you guys on Friday, and thanks for tuning in. Make sure to give me a follow on Twitter at the Barrel Zone if you want to subscribe and grab my plays. I'm posting NHL also, not just NBA. You can go to patreon.com/the Barrel Zone. And thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys on Friday, same time as always.